Police have launched an investigation into an alleged conspiracy to topple the government. Meanwhile, calls for a probe into allegations against the MACC have grown louder. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. Police have launched an investigation into allegations of a plot to topple the government and undermine the country's stability. The claims reportedly involve an influential individual and an international media agency. Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail said a report was lodged yesterday and that the case is being investigated under Section 124B of the Penal Code. He confirmed that police received the report on February 26 and have since initiated investigations into the allegations. However, Khalid did not provide further details about the alleged conspiracy or those said to be involved. He also advised the public not to speculate on the matter while police complete the probe in line with the principles of criminal justice in the country. Section 124B of the Penal Code is a law provision that criminalizes activities deemed detrimental to parliamentary democracy. It carries a punishment of a jail term of up to 20 years upon conviction. Malaysia Kini has reached out to Khalid and the Federal Police Communications Arm to seek further information. Still on the topic, former DAP MP Tony Pua has drawn parallels between a police investigation into the alleged plot and his own persecution during the 1MDB era. Pua, who was investigated and barred from leaving the country during the 1MDB scandal for allegedly engaging in activities detrimental to parliamentary democracy, said the current probe feels unsettlingly familiar. He noted that police are once again investigating an alleged conspiracy to bring down the government, this time involving a purported influential individual and an international media agency. He questioned whether the probe was linked to the Azam Baki and MACC corporate mafia scandal. Pua also took a swipe at Anwar, who rose to prominence through the Reformasi movement, saying the Reformasi PM should put a stop to this ridiculous nonsense. Pua was barred from traveling to Yogyakarta, Indonesia on July 22, 2015. This was after then Inspector General of Police Khalid Abu Bakar informed the Immigration Department's Director General that the politician was being investigated under Section 124B of the Penal Code on an alleged activity detrimental to parliamentary democracy. He was investigated as a witness, not a suspect. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Tangkap, tangkap!
Azam Baki!
Azam Baki!
Tangkap, tangkap!
Tangkap, tangkap!
Azam Baki!
Azam Baki!
50 protesters led by businessperson Albert Tei gathered outside the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya today. The group had gathered to amplify calls for the arrest of MACC chief Azam Baki. Speakers at the rally took turns highlighting allegations against Azam and the MACC as reported by Bloomberg. In his speech, Tei echoed calls for an independent Royal Commission of Inquiry to be established and expressed support for it to be chaired by former Chief Justice Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat. He claimed that Azam and Attorney General Dusuki Mokhtar, who is the chair of the government-led task force, shared close relations. Bloomberg and Malaysia Kini separately reported earlier this month that Azam owned significant shares in two companies that appeared to be in excess of what the civil service allowed. Bloomberg had also published another report alleging that MACC officers had colluded with private individuals to strong-arm business rivals and stage corporate takeovers. In response to claims on his shareholdings, Azam had denied wrongdoing and said his transactions were properly declared to the Public Service Department. Meanwhile, the MACC has dismissed the allegations as baseless, saying they are intended to tarnish the Commission's image and reputation. DAP had also previously called for an RCI to investigate the issue. DAP advisor Lim Kuan Eng had also reportedly suggested that the party might bring forward its special congress if the cabinet rejects their proposal for an RCI to investigate the claims. The congress on July 12 was set to decide if its office holders should relinquish their government positions. Lim reportedly told Kwong Wah Yit Po that if the cabinet does not accept it, the special congress might be brought forward and there will be no need to wait until July 12. He said this is because the party's Secretary General Anthony Loke and Chairperson Gobind Singh Dio also agreed on the need for an RCI. Lim stressed that the allegations of collusion are far more serious than the claims regarding MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki's previous shareholdings. He added that the matter must be investigated thoroughly or the MACC will be seen as an oppressor. In In an interview with Malaysia Kini on Monday, Lok had said that DAP will propose establishing an RCI on the alleged corporate mafia allegations during the cabinet meeting today. Govt has similarly backed calls for an RCI, stating that MACC cannot clear itself of alleged wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Azam had previously denied any wrongdoing and said his transactions were properly declared to the Public Service Department. The MACC had also denied the claims against it, saying that it was baseless. It said the accusations were an attempt to discredit the commissions, investigations, and enforcement actions within the corporate sector. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Rafizi has claimed that PKR is attempting to pressure him into leaving the party. This is so that he would be removed as an MP. Rafizi said he had received a show cause letter from PKR accusing him of effectively declaring his resignation from the party when he declared he would contest the next general election on a non-PKR ticket. He claimed that PKR's leadership is hesitant to dismiss him outright, as doing so would enable him to keep his seat in parliament.
Kononnya, saya isytihar keluar parti bila saya sebut saya akan bertanding di PRU 16 tetapi bukan atas tiket PKR. Itu perancangan apabila Dewan Rakyat dibubarkan kelak dan saya tidak lagi terikatlah masa itu dengan Akta Anti Lompat Parti. Setelah saya tidak lagi jadi ahli parlimen, memang terpulang kepada saya lah nak buat apa. Selagi saya ahli parlimen dan saya tidak menghantar surat keluar dari parti atau saya tidak mengisytiharkan saya telah menyertai parti lain, maka saya kekal sebagai anggota PKR dan speaker tidak boleh memecat saya dari parlimen.
In a recent interview with Sinchu Daily, Rafizi said that while he intends to defend his MP seat in the next general election, it will likely be executed without him being a PKR member. He said he will still contest in Pandan but doesn't think that he will stand as a PKR candidate. Bersih said that the proposed constitutional amendment seeking to limit the Prime Minister's tenure does not undermine the powers of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or the Conference of Rulers. This was in response to the remarks by Perikatan Nasional MPs during a press conference yesterday. Bersih Chairperson Faisal Aziz said that the constitutional amendment bill falls outside the scope of Article 159(5), which protects provisions that cannot be amended without the consent of the Conference of Rulers. These include the position of Islam, special privileges, the national language, and citizenship rights. He stressed that the bill's singular purpose is to limit executive power and prevent the prolonged concentration of authority in any one prime minister, not to diminish the constitutional standing of the monarchy in any form. He also highlighted how Article 43(2)(a) prescribes the procedure by which the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints the prime minister. According to Faisal, the existence of this procedure explains that certain conditions are already in existence for the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to appoint a prime minister. He added that the royal address of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong at the opening of Parliament on January 19, 2026 clearly expressed His Majesty's support for limiting the tenure of the Prime Minister to 10 years. He stated that this royal address explains that there is no conflict between this amendment and the powers of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Yesterday, PN MPs had called for the government to postpone its plan to table 2 institutional reform bills next week. This included the term limit bill. PN's Chief Whip Takiuddin Hassan said the opposition is concerned about the bill's constitutionality, as it could undermine the power vested in the king. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.